I want to make a video on furnaces. I see many posts of people where their furnaces aren't working. It's very cold outside, their houses are getting cold and they're panicking. And to try to save people from having to get a service call in the middle of the night, which could cost them a small fortune, I thought I'd make this video that maybe can help people prepare, buy some stuff, and do it themselves. So I was just going to go through a quick little tutorial on the furnace. This is my furnace. It's a Carrier furnace. It's not running right now because I have the bottom door off. As soon as you have the bottom door off, this is the main switch. So as soon as that switch is off, it shuts off all the power to the furnace. So quickly, the way a furnace works. When it first starts up, this is an inductor motor. That'll actually start to turn. Clears out any exhaust gases that still might be inside the furnace. Excuse me. Once that starts going, the main motor down here will start to turn, drawing air through and starting to circulate air. Next, you'll have a igniter, also might be called a glow plug. That thing kind of sitting in the back there. It's kind of hard to see, but we'll see it once it lights up. That'll ignite, or sorry, that'll light up, get really orangey, and that's what ignites a flame. And then once that's lit, or once that's on, the gas will start, it'll ignite, and then there's a little flame sensor back there, a little stick-like thing. It's also known as a thermocoupler. What that'll do is it actually detects that there's heat present, so it measures temperature, and if it gets to a certain temperature, it says, yeah, your furnace is good, keep it running. If not, it shuts it down. So I'll show you what happens when those two items don't work, the flame sensor and the igniter, and how to fix them. They're actually quite simple. So this is the flame sensor here. So if you look underneath, it's just one tab that you just pull off. Very simple. It's one screw down here. Take that off, and you pull it out and put a new one in. The igniter over here is one screw here to take that off, and it's this plug in here. I will fold that. Sorry. And so it just disconnects like that. Just pull it apart. So what I'm going to do is I'll just put this back on so that we can start the furnace, show you what normal operation is. Now, I was talking about spare parts. Those two things I keep spare all the time. So this is the actual thermocoupler. This says Carrier flame sensor. It's roughly about $10–20. Very cheap part. You see, it's very simple. It's just the one screw in there and the connector. And then this here is my igniter. Don't want to touch this part with your bare hands. You don't want to get oils on it. It's ceramic and it does have a finite life. So that's the actual model that I use, but that's what they look like. That's for the Carrier. Other furnaces might have a different thing, but that's basically all it is. And so this thing's about $50. I buy these. I'm up in Canada. I buy these myself from Amory Supply. Works for me. You might be able to get them at Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, but check around. Definitely highly valued item to have as a spare, because when my furnace has failed, it's always -30, and it's always sometime in the middle of the night. So I'm going to start the furnace. I'm going to put some tape on this switch here just so it starts up. And now you can hear the furnace is kind of going, just because I had this off. It's going to go just to circulate and stuff like that. It was in the middle of the run when I shut it off, so once everything gets normal, it's going to call for normal run. This thing will start. It's going to take a few seconds while it's doing that. And just there that goes. That's the first click. So that's the inductor motor starting up. You see it spinning. So it's exhausting any gases that are in there. So what we're going to see next, and back here, we're going to see the igniter start up. Might be able to hear the click. There, a little click. And there's the glow. That's good. Now you hear another click, which is gas coming in, and then it should ignite. Click, and gas and ignition. now you should be able to see pretty good back in there. You see the flame sensor sticking in the flame, and because it's working, the furnace stays on. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this wire off, and the flames will shut off. And that's it. So now what will happen, I'm just going to leave that off. The furnace is going to go through its normal routine here, and it's going to try to start up again. It'll go through the same process. I'll let it start. The flame will come on for a couple seconds, and then because this is off, it'll say, hey, there's no flame present. It's going to shut it down. Okay, so here it goes again. It's going to start up. Normal. I think it's going to be normal routine. Going to watch that glow plug start again. I call it glow plug or igniter. There we go. Okay, we'll hear the gas come on. It will ignite for a few seconds and then it'll shut off. And there it's off. So now it's going to go through the same process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually connect this back up this time. But I'm now going to disconnect this. Okay, so the igniter is actually disconnected. It's just going off there. You see, so this thing there, gas just went on. That was a click. You guys can't smell it, but I can smell gas. Flame sensor says there's no fire, so it shuts off. So it'll keep doing that, and that was because the igniter was, in this case, disconnected. But if it's open for you, that's what you'll see. So now I've connected it back up. It should go back to normal here. Glow plug starts. Gas will turn on. Sensor, because we have that connected, it says yeah, everything's good, and the furnace keeps going. Glow plug will turn off there. So now we're back to normal. So very simple again. Two things that 95% of the time are the culprits. This flame sensor actually, if it went out in the middle of the night and you don't have a spare, you can actually take it off. Sometimes it's just soot. Sometimes you can just clean it and get away with it for another 24 hours. The igniter, you're going to have to replace that. So that's why I highly recommend you get a spare of each. And that's my video. Anything else major in here, I will call somebody on that. The gas valve or the high pressure switches or the motor or something like that. But those are the two simplest things that seem to always break. So thanks for watching. Bye.